Hey there, this is Mr. Icarus, and welcome to yet another edition of Doom Mod Madness. This time round, we're checking out Doom the Mercenaries, and if you're a fan of Resident Evil, this should be pretty familiar looking to you. Namely because it's the Mercenary survival mode from Resident Evil 4 directly plonked into Doom. And it's looking pretty good, it's looking pretty spot on. We've got the third-person over-the-shoulder perspective, we've got the character animations taken directly from Resident Evil 4, we've got all the regular HUD elements. It's a pretty spot-on translation, to be honest, and the objective here is to kill everything in the stage for points, and you gotta do them in a fairly timely fashion, because if the timer hits 0, you pretty much fail the stage. And the quicker you kill, the more combo you can build up, which gives you a greater score, which you can see underneath my timer there. Currently sitting at 490. Let's see if we can bump that up just a tiny bit with this horde. Ooh, gotta reload. The controls are a little iffy. To reload, I've got to be aiming and then hit shift, which coincidentally is also the key that you need to press in order to sprint around, which is just absolutely pants on head retarded, to be honest. It's also the same for dodge. You've got to be pressing shift and tap back to do a 180, but to be honest, if you've got a mouse, you can pretty much whip it round real easy and not have that problem in the first place, so it's a bit of a baffling choice to have all three of those elements bound to the same button. No, I'm not joking. I'm going to show you what I mean. If you go down to the Mercenaries options here, look at that. Reload, run, and turn 180 are on the same option. You can't have reload separately bound here because it's just not available, and I just can't understand it. I really can't understand why it's done in that fashion. It took me so friggin' long to figure out a comfortable way of playing with that utterly strange configuration. I mean, we've got options for music. Who gives a toss? It's got to be all about the gameplay, dude. We've also got a radar, which I never ever use because, let's face it, the vast majority of the time you're playing levels that you already know. You've got Taunt, which, while amusing, is a little bit useless, and the Super Jump, which doesn't really get much love in Doom because there's not a lot of jumping required, but if you press space, you jump pretty goddamn high. And there was a few melee options on there which don't really work all that well. You've also got a knife. Let's see if I can find the option. Nope. Knife ain't working. I'm going to have to find out what key that was bound to again. This is what I mean. There's a lot of back and forth. F or V. I bound it to one of those two. And no, it appears that Hunk does not have a knife. Some other characters do. There is a little bit of variation between the characters you can use here, but on the whole, they all tend to kind of handle the same. You've also got the dodge buttons that you can see popping up. It's the old quick time event, but I find it's always up far too quick. There's far too short a window for me to actually effectively press those buttons at the same time and use the dodge properly, which is almost necessary at a certain point because as I move through this stage, which is, here we go, which is an amped up version of Episode 1, Mission 1, you just get beset on all sides by enemies, and there's a flinch mechanic in here, so if you take a blast from the front, it'll cause you to stagger a little bit, it'll essentially stun lock you, so you can't do anything for a second or two. And in that time, another enemy can be blasting you from a different direction and cause another stun lock. It is really irritating. Can't even begin to tell you how much I've been swearing when I've encountered that particular aspect of gameplay. But, yeah, on the surface, it's pretty straightforward, it's pretty simple, pretty fun, but it's not a lot much more than that. It's a pretty shallow concept, ultimately. There's not a lot more to it than just blasting through a level and getting a high score. You can't really spend your high score on anything, you can't do upgrades, you can't do anything particularly special beyond the running and gunning. And I think one of the biggest sins of this mod is that it gives you all the weapons up front. I mean, look, you get this crazy thing straight off the bat. I can't even remember what this thing does. I'm going to try and do it to someone's face just to make sure I remember what it is. Oh, it turns into mush. Okay, and now I'm getting stun locked. Crap, I'm going to die. Let's get out of here. We're okay. This is because I can't dodge properly. But I'm just trying to find if there's anything around here I can use for health. I do like that as your health gets lower, you do stagger around a lot, but I'm really not willing to let my health go any lower than this because the effect that comes on screen, if you're photosensitive, it's going to give you friggin' epilepsy. I'm not even joking. Hopefully I don't have to show you that, but Yeah, as I was saying, you get all the weapons, even grenades, right off the bat, which kind of robs the mod of its challenge somewhat. And as you can see, I've got a lot of time on the clock up there. There's no worries on me failing the level on a timeout. Actually, I'm gonna get the hell out of here. I'm gonna die. I don't want to be seeing those epilepsy colors. So in fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to swap over to a different character just to show you the minor differences between characters here. We've got Jack Krauser, which was a villain out of Resident Evil 4. And he's got a pretty cool super move. It in fact actually makes him one of the more enjoyable characters in Doom the Mercenaries to play. He also does get a unique weapon, which is the bow and arrow, which I find interesting, but ultimately useless because I'd much rather use one of the many guns that you get straight off the bat. See what I mean about it robbing it of challenge ever so slightly? But yeah, if you use the arm, you gotta press Q, and then you gotta click fire. I would have been much happier if that was just a single action bound to one key, rather than having to do a combination of actions. But, you know, considering how weird the controls are already, it's... jeez. It's just not happening, isn't it? It's just not happening. You know, actually, it reminds me of something else that really hurts this. You can't do any other key presses while you're running around. I can't swap my weapons while I'm running around here. I've got to stop before the effect will happen. Same goes for turning on my arm. I can't do it when I'm running around. I can't actually move when I've got the arm activated. I've just got to pick a direction and then fire, basically, and I'm gonna die. Oh, jeez. Oh, no, it's epilepsy time! This is what I was trying to avoid! Okay, we're gonna swap. We're gonna swap to a different character. I don't want my eyes dancing like crazy, so we got Leon, the old classic, the hero of Resident Evil 4, and this thing that pops up right here. This happens every single stage. There is a button that you can find to skip this, but it took me a while to find it. And seriously, you do not need that prompt popping up at the start of every single stage, because once you've seen it once, you know the deal. You know the deal, goddammit. So Leon gets a few interesting weapons, but they're pretty much shared amongst a lot of the characters here. The Magnum revolver absolutely decimates people. You don't get very many shots with it, but again, it's not that much of a problem, because you can just swap to something ridiculous like an auto shotgun as soon as you run out of ammunition, so... Or a MAC-10, you know. Go nuts. Doesn't really matter. And, yeah, as you can see, there's not a whole lot of depth here. It's a little bit of a one-trick pony. It's good for a little bit of a blast, but not much more than that, which is an absolute damn shame. I was hoping I'd be able to spend my points and my ranking on something like weapon upgrades or some kind of progression, but... unfortunately, it's just not there. All you get is a load of stuff that on the surface is cool, but after a while loses its shine. And Wesker's got a bunch of interesting stuff as well. That's pretty much the same as Leon's revolver that blows people to bits. We've also got an M16. Is that an M16? With a scope, apparently. Interesting. See if it does anything unique. No, it's just pretty much a ranged weapon. And you know what, I wish I could be a bit more enthusiastic about the Mercenaries, but the truth is I have played some absolutely spectacular mods over the last few months or so, and I've just had so much choice available, so much craziness and depth involved in some of this stuff that I've been playing, that when I sit down and play something like this, I kind of think, is that it? Is that all you're gonna do with the concept? I mean, I just wish there could be so much more, because I can see so much potential with this concept. I would greatly love to see it expanded. And as it is right now in its current form, it does wear out its welcome relatively quickly. I mean, I'd even show you Ada Wong, but to be honest, it's pretty samey after you've seen all the other characters at play here. But hey, that's all she wrote. That's the Mercenaries in a nutshell. Feel free to let me know if I missed anything in the comments below. Naturally, some things do slip by me every now and again. Links, as usual, are in the description below, and if there's a mod you'd like to see me cover in future episodes of Doom Mod Madness, again, leave a comment down there, and I'll add it to the list if I haven't got it there already. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Feel free to leave a like if you did, and if you're not already subscribed, well, look out, I might be sending Wesker around to have a few words. But in either case, thank you very much for watching. This has been Mr. Icarus. Icarus out.